Hey guys, welcome back to the Watches and Giggles channel. I'm Chris from Chicago. First off, as always, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I do appreciate it. All right, guys, in today's vid, we have a new watch. Well, kind of a rebuy, and we'll get into that in a moment. But I bought a new watch. For some of you that's been with me for a while, you know I had the blue version of this, a blue wave dial in 42 millimeters. I now have the black. The blue is gone, and we'll explain why. But before we get into all that, guys, we'll see what I'm wearing. And today I have on my other Omega, the 1861 Omega Speedmaster. I have it back on the original bracelet, and I added this adjustment clasp to it, which I think makes it absolutely magnificent. Some of you may know I put the 3861 bracelet on it, and honestly, it felt a little chintzy, to be totally truthful with you guys. So I put it back on the original. That bracelet's gone. I feel like this one just fits with this model. And I didn't kind of want to pretend I had the other one, which kind of some people thought that may be the case. But love this watch, guys. And yeah, I have a year review coming on it soon. But we're going to talk about this guy. So I bought the new Omega Speedmaster, the new wave dial in black, the 42 millimeter, and it's absolutely stunning. We're going to get into a tiny unboxing, but we're going to explain why. So I had the blue variant and I sold it, mainly because I have the Tudor Black Bay 58 in blue, and I now have the Rolex Submariner 41 millimeter in blue, the bluesy. So I really didn't need three blue watches, and some of you may know or have figured out that I actually moved on from the Rolex Sea Dweller, the 43 millimeter, and I did not have a black dive watch in my collection anymore. And just showing it real quickly, guys, look at this dial. I mean, it is an absolute stunning dial. And before we get into the watch itself, we're going to talk about what a deal this watch is right now on the market. So I know most of you, or some of you, may be clamoring for the Rolex Submariner, and it's a beautiful watch, absolutely. But we're going to talk about pricing a little bit. So this watch retails now for $5,400, and you're going to be about $6,000 out the door. And a lot of you that may like Omega realize or have come to the fact that Omega is not really offering any more discounts. So it's going to be hard to get a discount from a boutique or an authorized dealer. You may be able to have a little wiggle room, maybe get you out of sales tax, but it's going to be really hard. And if you want a Rolex Submariner, the date version is $10,100. So with tax, you're about $11,000 out the door. And the no date is about $9,000. This is American dollars we're talking, $8,950. And you're about $10,000 out the door with sales tax. But you're going to be hard pressed to find one in an authorized dealer. And looking at current prices today, which is, what are we at? February 20th, 2022, a unworn Rolex Submariner date is $19,000, guys. That's correct. That's what they're going for. And $18,000 for the no date. For used, you're not looking at much less unless it's in real shitty condition. You're looking at about 17 to 18 for the date and 16 to 17 for the no date. So this I did not buy from an authorized dealer. I bought used, but in pretty much mint condition, as you can see. It is absolutely a stunning watch. And I got it for $4,400. So a little bit of a savings there. And I did get a discount because I purchased it, the blue dial one, from an authorized dealer, but they would not give me a discount this time, which, you know, I was a little disappointed in, but I understand Omega is trying to move away from discounting their brand. And guys, is this watch 4 times less than a Rolex Submariner, which is almost at $20,000? It's absolutely not. It is a stunner of a watch. I mean, just look. Obviously, I've been showing this beautiful wave dial, and I believe this one and the white one are the absolute best. And I almost got the white one. I know when I bought the blue one, it was actually between the blue and the white variant at that time, because I had the 43 millimeter Sea Dweller, so I kind of had that black dial dive watch all taken care of. But now that that's gone, I had to go for the black. And the white dial is stunning and beautiful, but it's more of a flat dial, where this one you can see is glossy and plays with the light. almost looks gray. Then you go dark black, and in some lighting it looks almost a little blue, but I think that's because of the AR coating on the front and back of the dial here, or crystal, excuse me. But this watch is absolutely a stunner for the price. I would say one of the best luxury dive watches that you can buy. Now, when these first came out, people were dumping them on eBay, and you probably could have got it for as low as $3,500, maybe even $3,000, because it came out with a price tag of $4,850 originally. And people were just dumping them. But I think a lot of people have come to realize how really special and magnificent this dial is and watch is altogether. It has great lume. I know the skeleton hands can be divisive, and some people don't like them, but I mean, to me, for the value you're getting for a luxury brand with cachet, I think Omega just knocks it out of the park. We're gonna get it on the wrist here, take off the Speedy, which I do have a year review coming to this guy, which I absolutely love. Omega is absolutely one of my favorite brands with Tudor and Rolex. And let's get the wrist shot going here. I mean, look at that. I mean, and I have a 7.5-inch wrist. This sits about 13.5 millimeters in height. So it's about an inch, full millimeter higher than the Rolex Submariner now, which is about 12.5. But a lot of the gripes with this watch too was the clasp, because it's very large. But the new Rolex Submariner, guys, is actually a little bigger than this clasp. So that argument is non-existent anymore, because the Submariner has just as big of a clasp now. And I know the wart, the helium escape valve, but that kind of makes Omega what Omega is. It gives it that cool little flavor, that little pop, and I actually like it. When you're wearing it, you hardly even realize it's there. And I do like a little polish right there on the center links there. It's absolutely beautiful. I know it doesn't taper. I kind of wish it did, but also that gives it the flavor that it is, the style that it is. It's just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, guys, very happy with this rebuy of sorts, but I kind of just swapped one for the other since I already had two blue dials in my collection. So moved on from the blue 42 millimeter wave dial, Omega Seamaster, and now I have the black dial. And oh man, this combination with the bezel, the white and the black, little pop of red. I mean, there's tons of videos on this, but it's a stunner, guys. And I think, honestly, one of the best luxury entry dive watches that you could buy on the market right now. Considering a Rolex, you know, even if you can get it at retail, is double what this is. And it's not worth double the watch, let me tell you. It's not. The bracelet is, I mean, everything about this watch is just quality. It just feels like a luxury product in your hand. So, the only thing is, it is a little more of a casual watch, I think, than the Submariner. But it's a little bigger, a little chunkier, a little more heft, and I think it was a perfect addition to my collection for a black dial diver since I moved on from the Rolex SD43. And I know some of you may be shocked because that was my favorite watch and it was just wearability. I also didn't really want to get too much of it, but this wears flatter on the wrist, where the Sea Dweller pops up even a little more and sits about 15 millimeters in height. And I just found it cumbersome, and God, the way prices are now, it's a good time to move on from a Rolex watch if you're not loving it anymore. But that's gonna do it for today, guys. Wanted to show you this new addition to the collection. Really just swapped out one dial for the other, but I do love Omega and I love what they're bringing to the table these days, guys. So hope everyone's doing well, guys. We'll have a full review on it a little bit later. Just got it the other day, but love this watch, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.